I do see we have some imbalance down here as well. But first things first, if you look at what happened on Sunday, we have this huge gap down. And from Sunday until today, we've created this range here. If we're looking at these lows to these highs, that's the range that we're in now. Drawing the Fibonacci from the low to the high, I see that price came right back down to the 50%. So it does make sense as to why price is giving us a reaction, because most times buyers like to step in at the 50%. So that's a nice area that we're in currently. I do know that we have some news coming up today as well. Let me scroll up real quick. Let's go to Tuesday at 7 a.m., which is in the next 32 minutes. We have Chairman Powell testifying. We have President Trump speaking as well around the same time. This wasn't here last night. Actually, that's crazy work. So he must have just got thrown in there. He's going to talk about the tariffs, probably. Let me actually put this in the chat because this was not here last night. Hold on. This is President Trump is speaking. Yeah, this may cause some more volatility in the market. Two red folders back to back, and then later on there's some news as well. But these two, that's gonna shake up the market. We shall see. New York session bell rings here in the next 35 seconds. So let's see what they want to do. Like, do we want to go ahead and capitalize and get a position now, or let's play it safe and just wait for them to speak and then allow price to move like crazy and then get in. So if I see a massive spike down to like the previous buy zone here that we reacted from, I'm definitely gonna pull the trigger. If we go even lower to previous buy zones down here, again pulling that trigger. That is a 500 600 point drop if we do. But if we actually hold this structure here, that's also fine. Let's go to the 15-minute and see, are we getting some type of structure? The market is officially I just closed it by accident. That's my fault. I clicked the wrong button. Give me a second. All right, sorry guys. But yeah, I'm looking at the 15-minute now to see what's happening with current structure, and to give us the best chance of opportunity, we have to see if we break above these highs. All right, this is the most recent high that we need to break above in order to complete the accumulation. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a wick here, another wick here. That's the liquidity. And then we had the sweep earlier this morning around 6 a.m. as you can see. And then if this candle here or the next or any candle breaks above these highs, we would now have a confirmation, and then we would go ahead and set up our buy limits. Let's go to the 5-minute and then the 1 minute. If you want to be super technical, we do have confirmation already on the 1 minute by breaking above some of these highs in here. All right, we have liquidity here, boom, liquidity there, the sweep, and then we did get a nice break above these highs, and then look how price came back to retest this structure and hold, and then now it's moving up. So if you were really paying attention on the smaller time frames, because I always say once price gets into your zone, go to the smaller time frames and look for the accumulation. So if you were doing that, you would have seen on the 1 minute chart, since we broke above these highs here, you could have been entering here at these highs. Stop loss would have been these lows. That's about 33 points of risk that you have to be okay with. And then look how price is already up 40 points from this entry. Super clean textbook. All right, that's the kind of stuff I like to see. You could have even used these highs here. It's a 5 minute. It's more reputable right there. full body candle close right here, and then the next few candles retested and then took off. But just to be safe, we are going to wait for the 15-minute candle here to get that close, and then when news happens at 7 a.m., we may dip back into this area to give people a chance to get in and continue the move higher. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I can possibly see happening. And then, of course, these are the same highs from last night that we were talking about on the 4-hour. Right? Essentially, any highs that we break above would be valid. Right? This is all liquidity. Right here. This wick to the highs. This wick down there to the highs. This wick here to the highs. And then we get a nice sweep of these lows. And then this can break above. That still counts as the setup. As long as you sweep liquidity and break structure, you have your setup. It doesn't matter how many lower lows you created or lower highs you created in the meantime. As long as you get that last final sweep or the Wyckoff spring and then you break structure, that's all you need. Super. That's why it's this. I like it. It's super clean, very objective. Very objective. It aligns very well with my personality and my mindset. But this morning at 6 a.m., when I hopped out the shower and I saw that price was in the same zone that we were looking at last night, I mentioned, hey, Nas is in a very good spot. And it's already up 100 points. It's already up 100 points. Let me indicate that. Okay. Super solid. Super solid. Let me fix this. Technically, that's fine. And below. Yeah. I literally talked about this last night. I was like, hey, if we come back here, this will be a nice area because we have two different structures that we're testing. So it makes sense that we have some buys. Also, I know Tevin, his name is Atmosphere on here. He mentioned that the London lows were taken. If you go here and mark up the lows, what do I always say about any lows or highs that get swept? Let me know in the chat, or you can unmute. What do I always say about lows that get swept or highs? What happens to price? What happens to price? I want to see if y'all are paying attention. Exactly. And look what happened. Reversed. Super clean. So not only did the price come back to the zone that we were looking at last night, not only did the price come back to the 50% retracement, not only are we getting accumulation on the 1 minute and the 5 minute in this area, there's so many overlapping things that is causing this to happen. So it makes sense, right? I'm not surprised at all. And I like that. So this candle closes in the next 8 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna screenshot this and put it in the chat so people know what's going on. Let me move this over so it's not overbearing. Okay. This is what we're gonna be looking at. Entry here, like always, at the structure. At least the test trade. I know people like to get the lower entries. That's cool. Stop loss right beneath the lows. So it may be like a 65 point risk. If you're trading NAS, if you go to NAS mini, you can break that risk in half and even further. And then you can put a take profit or a partial out at the highs. Or you can do your 1 to 3. It all depends on your specific trading plan. If you have multiple entries, you have different take profits for each one, and maybe leave one that's open just in case price wants to run. And we see now price is here at these highs, sweeping it, possibly breaking above with a full body candle on this time frame, or we may get a reaction to the downside. We have to break above these highs as well, and so on and so forth. So on and so forth, even these over here. So we have some work to do. Well, not us, but NAS has some work to do. Each one of these highs is liquidity. Each one of these is a chance for price to reverse. So that's why I said earlier we have to full body candle close above the main high. All right, lower low, lower high, lower low. Once we get that higher high, now all this is confirmed to continue. How far down it wants to go, we don't know. I like to use the structure itself. Some people will use the 50%. Let's see if they maybe this one, 50% would be the middle right here. Same thing. But I do want to put this in the chat so people can see. Let me just screenshot this. Move this over. Definitely want more than one entry. I would do at least 2 minimum. You can target these highs here, right there. And the third one can just be open. Boom, or even these highs from the past. All right. How do y'all feel about this this trade? Boom. It's possible. Definitely possible. That's why I'm waiting for the confirmation on the 15-minute. If I see that we get a 15-minute setup here, then I'm not gonna worry about it. Like if I see price do this and give me an accumulation, then I'm not gonna even look down there. It, yeah, yeah. Once the candle closes in the next 3 minutes, then I'll go ahead and put the pending limit. Let me see, and let me make sure I put that in the chat. Yep, that's it. Now we just wait. Now we just wait. Yes, but we do have imbalance there. We have liquidity here. I just don't like to wrap my head around all that. I just like to be okay. What's happening with the structure? What's happening? Because there's so much imbalance. There's so much imbalance. I know, like last 2 weeks, someone was talking about this imbalance down here. They're like, "Oh, you don't think it's gonna go down to this imbalance?" I'm like, "Well, there is accumulation here. So I mean, right, we have a low, we have a high, we sweep the lows, and we break above the highs, retest. So at this point, I'm not even concerned about this, because if we were gonna go down there, we wouldn't have created accumulation. But to play the other side, even if you have accumulation, this could easily get clapped and price can go lower and then give more accumulation down here and then head higher. We just don't know. And because we don't know, I'm just not going to guess. I'm just going to go based off what I see right in front of me. So that's how we protect ourselves from getting manipulated, because you're just taking the setup. And if you do get clapped on the setup, at least you're staying consistent with what you're doing on how you're entering the trades, how you're exiting the trades. I don't mind getting clapped on the trade as long as I followed my trading plan. Like last week, we had this trade here that we were looking at. We were looking at this. We had massive liquidity buildup. Boom. We had the sweep, break above, and then price clapped. It clapped us, but that's fine. I didn't get upset because we followed the trading plan, right? Sometimes your setup gets clapped. Sometimes structure needs to get clapped to go to lower zones, which is what it did right in here, which is perfectly fine. No problem with that. But yeah, just trying to guess if it's going to go to this area or that area, it's hard. But there's 33 seconds left on this candle. So far, it's looking like it may close above these highs. Anything can happen. I've seen price literally clap itself, but it's looking very, very good. And we may even close above these highs. That'll be more confirmation. We have, we're breaking structure several times, including this internal structure here, this internal structure. That's a good sign. All right, so the trade is now confirmed. For anyone who just hopped in, this is what we're looking at for the setup. Right here, let's go to the 1 minute so you see it more clear. But we have the liquidity here. Boom. We sweep the lows, those lows there, and then we do break above the highs. So if price decides to come down, that's a solid place to take the trade. And if you look at the Fibonacci and just go based off of this current range that we have here, whoa. If you go off this current, I need to delete this, actually. Quit. Remove. Okay. Right, if you go to the Fibonacci and then go to the highs, isn't it crazy how the 50% lines up with the entry? I like that. I like that overlapping correlation. But we have 15 minutes until the news starts. Let me also drop this in the chat so they can see the structure. And this is about 120 point move. This would be discount buys. For this area there. Drop this in the chat. All right. So again, we have some volatility coming in later on in the next 13 minutes. We have Powell speaking, and then Trump is speaking around the same time, or we don't know the time. It says tentative, so we're gonna see. We shall see. Let's confirm we know what this word means. Not certain or fixed. All right. Boom. Shout out to technology. Fast results. All right. I'm just waiting on this, to be honest. Unless you guys want to look at anything else. But this is let's look at US 30 real quick. US 30 looks the same. I see similar structure here. Just off rip. As soon as I open this up, I see the liquidity, the sweep, break above. Immediately. But this is the 1 minute. Let's go up. We even got the 15-minute full body candle close. And I see how price has already retested the structure right here. Retested the structure. We have this imbalance here as well. We'll see what happens. This imbalance may get filled with the news. Like, price may come down super quick, sweep these lows, maybe retest this structure, which would then fill the imbalance and then continue higher. Oof. That's nasty work. Yeah. The market opened on Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific, swept these lows and then flew. Nasty work. Came back to this imbalance. This structure was support at one point, and then it became resistance, and then we came back to retest and confirm that it is still resistance because we didn't break above. So, boom. Let's see SPX real quick. Similar. 15-minute. SPX got the break above as well. Full body candle. This is the structure. We also have this imbalance. These are the lows that we swept. Still firm on his US 30. Oh, he's probably looking at sells. I hope he drops the markup in the chat. It's good to have, both perspectives. That's funny. But yeah, what do you guys? I should probably put a poll in the chat. Is the market gonna go up or down? What do we think's gonna happen? Let's make it fun. Let's make it fun. Will Powell take us up or down? Duration, I'll put it for like an hour. Boom. Let's do up and then down. Boom. All right, let's go back to Nas. Okay. So yeah, let me put the alert here because that's, yeah. Make sure you guys set your alerts, set your buy limits. If you don't like the setup and you think it wants to go lower, then you can just, set your alert maybe at the, you can still set the alert here. And when price does get here, or if it comes here, you can go to the 1 minute and see, are we making accumulation or distribution? So then if you're making some type of distribution here, then we can go lower to the lower zones. This huge imbalance right there. But so far it's beaming. It's beaming through. Now we're breaking more structure to the upside. I just need to survive until then. Let's see what he's looking at.
So I went ahead and put a pending limit on the 15-minute breaker structure, or should I have an alert?
Both. Both. Yeah, just stand on business. If you like the setup, if it makes sense to you, if it's clear, just put the pending limit and just accept the trade. Do the pending limit, set an alert so then you know that it's been activated. But I believe Trade Locker sends you an alert too when the trade activates. So
Yeah.
yeah, and just watch it, pay attention. I know it's about 64 points. If you're not comfortable with risking, $60, $70 and do NAS mini, and then you can break that risk in half by doing a point 0.5. You can break that risk into quarters by doing 0.25. You know, I always recommend the first trade you take should be a test trade. And then once you get more confirmation on smaller time frames, then add more positions. That's what keeps me sane as well. But technically a 0.01 on NAS is a test trade. Depending on your account size, maybe you have to use NAS mini. But yeah, still not bad.
What do you think about gold right now?
Let's look at let's look at baby gold. Oh, gold went lower. Let's see. Let me actually delete this. Boom. For gold, I would be looking at gold to retest this structure. How it did before yesterday. Retested this structure. Let me check the 1 hour real quick. Yeah. I'd be looking here to retest this structure or to sweep these lows. Let's look at the daily real quick. Yeah, I like this range right in here. In between this structure here and then these lows. I like this whole area to be looking for buys. So I would do like a buy limit here at this structure and then do another buy limit at these lows. And then once those activate, if they activate, you can go to here 15-minute and then look for more setups to then add more positions. Boom. And then you do a buy limit there if that happens. If price does not want to come lower and it wants to push higher from where it is, then we would need to break above these highs here, because that would be the setup. We have liquidity being built up, massive sweep, break above. That would give us the accumulation, and then you can enter here at the structure, or if you want discount buys, just draw the Fibonacci and then find the 50% and things of that nature. However people do it. I know there's different ways of doing it.
I got a pending limit at 28.86.
You have a pending limit at which one?
28.86.
Oh, okay. So like right here, essentially.
What do you think that does that too high, or should I do it?
I mean that's the structure that I just said. Like
Right. Okay.
yeah.
So would you ever, because there's imbalance there on the hour, I've been watching this since this morning. Would it have been premature to have a buy limit at that structure
I don't
when it
think
came
so.
down there?
I don't think so. I mean, it's up to you. Like there's also the structure here. That's why I always do a test trade, because we don't know what structure price wants to respect. So if you think it's premature to do it right there, then you can do it here as well, or you can do it at the lows that get swept. But from my experience back testing, I stick to the structure, right? And I'm always going to go back to this example. If you go to Bitcoin, a lot of people thought it was premature to have buy limits here at this structure. Right here, structure, buy limit here. So what do we have? We have liquidity being built up. We sweep and then we break above. So what do? Buy limit here at the structure. But people were saying, oh, we have more imbalance down there. There's imbalance down here. This is premature? But did we make it down there? No, we did not. And price went from 25,000 all the way to 100K. So I'm no longer making judgments in the market. If I see the setup, I'm taking it. I don't care where we are. I don't care if it's a premium price or a discount price. If it's there, I'm taking it. And that mindset for me, it just makes trading way more seamless. I'm not overthinking 15 possibilities like Doctor Strange and the Avengers. If it's boom, I see it, I'm taking it. Next. Boom, I see it, I'm taking it. All right, next. Right. That's what's helped me in my mindset, my personality. I know people are different in how they think, but I know for me, and I would even argue for new traders, that would be more beneficial. I see how we're here, and this is a good sign. Like anytime you break structure and then you hover above the structure and continue trading, that lets you know that the buyers are in control. And then vice versa for sales. But because we've been up here for since like 30 minutes, just trading up here, I like that. That tells us a lot. So let's see. Sorry, Brandon. I just saw your question. So you're testing but opening with 3 trades. Yeah. So you can split your trade up into 3 different trades. So let's say you're on NAS. I'm sorry. Instead of taking a 0.01, you can take 3 0.25s. Or if you're a NAS, instead of taking a 0.10, you can take 3 0.03s. So you have to split your risk up. Or if you have a good enough account size, you can just do 3 0.01s. Those are all, any 0.01 is a test trade. I always do that. I always split my trade up into multiple positions. So instead of taking one trade, I take multiple positions.
They all have the same pending limit.
Yeah. So yeah, the same pending limit, the same stop loss, but then the take profit is different for each one. It's for both, Brandon. It just depends on your account size. It depends on if you're trading NAS or NAS mini. If you're on regular NAS, you can take 3 0.01s. Like that's perfectly fine. If you have like a $100 account or a $500 account, okay, maybe I would take NAS mini and do like 0.25. 3 times. So then that comes out to 0.75, which is still less than a 0.01 on regular NAS. But that's my trading plan. I've shared my trading plan with you all like multiple times. If you want to see it again, go to the Essentials tab and just look through all the photos that I've sent and like literally look at my trading plan. So then when I'm on these calls and explaining these things, it's not like confusing. Long term is yeah. It's definitely better to trade regular NAS. 100%. NAS minis for new traders who maybe have like a smaller account and they want to like build it and then transition over to regular NAS. or maybe some people are trading futures and they're trading MNQ, so it's I think it's like 2 points per contract or 2 points per dollar with one contract on MNQ. So it's 702. I know Powell's speaking now. So let's see what he's talking about. He's gonna mention something. Let's see. But so far, price is looking good. Again, at 6 a.m., I did mention that we were in the buy zone from last night that I mentioned. I was saying, hey, if we come back to retest this structure, that will be a good place to get in some buys, regardless if you see the confirmation, just because this is a nice structure. Right, it's a 4-hour structure. We're getting that retest, and if you look at the fib from there to here, that's also in the discount zone. So automatically taking buys here would have been reasonable. It would have made sense. But if you didn't take those buys, now we're waiting for the confirmation, which we did, and we're allowing price to, do its thing. Exercising patience. I see that we swept more highs. Price came to these highs, swept it, and then reversed. We have yet to close above these highs with a full body candle. And then these highs, we barely closed above. So what is US 30 doing? Something similar. So US 30 may be coming to the buy zone sooner. I was looking at this imbalance here. Buy limit right there. And then you can even do a buy limit at these lows that have already been activated right there. Stop loss down there. So US 30 is already in the buy zone. Looks really good to take that. SPX, let's see. Similar. That's about a 50-point risk right in there. And then you can take profit or partials at, some of these highs right in there. Do multiple entries, do a partial here, maybe a partial at these highs. These highs, really up to you in your trading plan specifically. But these are all good areas. And then, of course, let one run. So I don't know how many entries you have to take to suffice the thirst. But I always do at least 3 on every setup. And then I'll do boom. And if this gets cooked, it is what it is. There's more entries. There's more liquidity here that can be used as well. But this does look good. Just following the setup. See, Nas is still up there. But yeah, that's what we got. All we can do is really wait. I'm not going to force the market really. But yeah, US 30, it looks the best right now because it's actually in the buy zone. All right. You guys have any questions before I log off? guys good?
Good.
All right. Let's run it up. Let's see what they want to give us. Let's see US 30 real quick. Let me see if this goes through. I'll wait like 2 more minutes. I know some would argue, since Nas is high up, it may bring Dow Jones down. Let me see SPX. Same thing with SPX. Some people trade the lagging pair as well. They say, well, since Nas and SPX aren't there, you want to trade the one that gets to the buy zone last. That also is a thing that people do. Let's look at the 1 minute real quick. You see here we have liquidity being built up. We sweep the lows, break above the highs, and now we're back in the zone. So if anyone was not confident in this trade, what you do is you just look here on the 1 minute and then wait for price to give you another confirmation, which would be breaking above these highs. And then you would do another buy limit off of this structure using these lows, which is less risk. That's how you would do it. And then you can still target, the similar structure, which would be better risk to reward than this one. So this candle closes in 30 seconds. If we get this full body candle close, then this trade would probably be better just because it's less risk. But then if it did get stopped out, you would have to understand that, this was the original play here. So it's looking good. And if you look left, we see that, a big reason for this price movement is because we did sweep these lows over here. We swept this liquidity. And then what happened? We immediately reversed. Right? So this is now valid for entries. Let's make this only visible on the 1 minute so it's not overbearing. Yeah, but this trade actually was already called out here. So technically, you probably were already in, but if you wanted to wait for the confirmation, there it is, and it just came back to the buy zone again on the 1 minute, giving you this entry here. So, and on top of that, we broke above this structure here, right? Full body candle broke this structure and this structure, and we got a retest of both. So super solid reaction. Price is already up, 10 points. Nothing crazy. But all right, now it's moving. Let's see what they want to do. What is Nas looking like? Nas hasn't really dropped yet to the buy zone. And then US 30. Yeah, US 30 was looking the best in my opinion. Nasty movement. But yeah, well, that's it for me. Super clean play. And then, once the alerts go off, I'm sure the chat's gonna be going off as well. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's get it.